The X-Men film series revolves around the conflict between mutants with special abilities and ordinary humans, showcasing the clash of ideologies between Professor X's X-Men, who advocate for peaceful coexistence, and Magneto's radical opposing faction. Now let me take you on a journey to discover some things you might not know about the X-Men universe. If Apocalypse is so powerful, why does he still need Magneto to help destroy the world? Apocalypse survives by transferring his consciousness into other mutants, stealing their powers. After being buried for thousands of years, he awakens and instantly absorbs human history by reading electromagnetic signals from TV, learning modern language in minutes. He can enhance mutants, creating the Four Horsemen, Storm, Angel, Psylocke, and Magneto. He controls sand, reshapes matter, manipulates minds, hijacks Professor X, and even restrains Quicksilver mid-motion. On paper, he's terrifying. But here's the catch. Apocalypse has many powers, but none are Omega level. Now look at Magneto. In First Class, lifting a submarine nearly breaks him. After Apocalypse enhances him, Magneto can manipulate Earth's magnetic field itself. Marvel officially classifies Magneto as an Omega level mutant with limitless potential. That's the real difference. Apocalypse can dominate locally, but he can't reshape the planet. Magneto can. That's why Apocalypse needs him. Do you know which mutants in X-Men are unkillable? 1. Mystique. In X-Men 1, Wolverine stabs her, leaving 3 visible wounds. When she later disguises herself as a security guard, those wounds are already much smaller, clear evidence she regenerates quickly. Her healing also slows her aging dramatically. That's why Professor X and Magneto grow old in the movies, while Mystique always looks the same. 2. Viper. After taking a poisoned arrow and falling from a tall platform, everyone assumes she's dead, but she simply forces the toxins out through her skin, slices it open with her nails, sheds her snake skin, and survives. 3. The man with the detachable arms. This guy can regrow his arms over and over again. I used to joke that his ability seems pointless, but honestly, his healing factor is ridiculous. 4. Apocalypse. He is the very first mutant with a whole arsenal of powers, including regeneration. When Psylocke slashes his throat, the wound closes instantly. 5. Sabretooth. His healing factor is on par with Wolverine's. Even when he's stabbed straight through, he barely reacts. The main difference is that Wolverine has bone claws, while Sabretooth uses long, retractable nails as his weapons. Who are the oldest mutants in the Marvel Universe? Most people think mutants are a modern phenomenon, but some of Marvel's mutants were already walking the Earth long before recorded history even began. The first is Apocalypse, born in ancient Egypt around 3000 BC. Using stolen celestial technology, he constantly rebuilt his own body, manipulating molecules and evolving himself into something close to a god. To Apocalypse, civilizations exist only to be tested. Survival belongs to the strongest, and the weak are meant to be erased. Next is Azazel. He's an ancient mutant from another dimension, believed to be over 4,000 years old. With teleportation, superhuman strength, and agility, Azazel was once mistaken for a literal demon. In ancient times, humans didn't see him as a mutant. They worshipped and feared him as a god of hell. But the oldest mutant of all is Selene, also known as the Black Queen. Her origins stretch back more than 17,000 years. She survives by draining life energy from others, fueling her immortality, magic, telepathy, and necromancy. While empires rose and fell, Selene simply endured. Some people might wonder why Namor isn't on this list. The reason is simple. While Namor was the first mutant Marvel ever created, he isn't the oldest one in the universe. How powerful are the Stepford Cuckoos? Together, the sisters operate as a telepathic hive mind. Their thoughts, emotions, and even physical pain are shared instantly. The closer they stand to each other, the stronger this psychic bond becomes. When they activate their abilities, their eyes glow blue, and they can read minds, control bodies, and withstand attacks from other top-tier telepaths. Their powers originate from their creator, Emma Frost. After Emma was experimented on, scientists cloned her to support advanced Sentinel projects. Most of the clones were unstable, and only 5 survived. Because their psychic power was overwhelming, the girls were fitted with control collars. During missions, 2 were held as hostages, while the other 3 carried out orders. But when the girls finally rebelled and killed their captors, the collars on the 2 hostages detonated instantly. In the comics, the Cuckoos also inherited Emma's diamond form, making them nearly indestructible. This mutation doesn't appear in The Gifted, but it further proves just how powerful they truly are. Why does Wolverine always yell when his claws shoot out? At first it seems strange. Wolverine is nearly indestructible. He's tough, unbreakable, almost unstoppable. So why does he scream every time his claws extend? The answer is brutally simple. It really hurts. Wolverine's claws aren't stored in a neat little pocket under his skin. There's no sliding chamber, no soft opening flap. Every time they shoot out, the adamantium blades slice straight through his own flesh, muscles, and nerves. It's like driving 3 knives out of the back of your hand from the inside.
When they come out, does it hurt?
Every time.
And he feels it every single time. His healing factor kicks in immediately. Skin closes, muscles regrow, blood stops. But healing doesn't erase the pain. His nerves still send the signal. His brain still registers the injury. Every extension is agony. So when Wolverine grits his teeth, growls, or even screams, it's not fear. It's not anger. It's pure, excruciating pain. In the Marvel Universe, many heroes possess extraordinary abilities, but 2 groups often get confused: mutants and Inhumans. So what exactly sets them apart? Mutants are ordinary humans who are born with a unique mutation called the X gene. This gene usually activates during puberty or under extreme stress. When it kicks in, it grants abilities that can be completely harmless or incredibly powerful.
You're enrolled.
Inhumans, however, are very different. They were created long ago when the Kree experimented on early humans, trying to engineer super soldiers for their war against the Skrulls. Although Inhumans also have altered DNA, they do not possess the X gene and therefore are not considered mutants. Their powers only emerge after exposure to Terrigen Mist, not naturally at birth like mutants. Why did Magneto abandon Mystique after she saved his life? In X-Men United, Mystique risks her life to rescue Magneto. Disguised as a bartender, she injects liquid metal into a guard's body, allowing Magneto to escape his plastic prison. Unfortunately, Mystique was captured. Magneto creates chaos to help her get free. But at the critical moment, a guard fires a mutant-suppressing weapon at Magneto. Mystique steps in front of him once again, taking the shot, and losing her powers as a result. And just as she sacrifices everything, Magneto turns and walks away. So why would he abandon the person who just saved him? Because to Magneto, power is survival. In that moment, Mystique no longer had her abilities. Without them, she was no longer a mutant, and no longer had strategic value. Magneto has always believed that only the strong can shape the future. His decisions are driven by outcomes, not emotion. There's also the fact that Magneto's larger plan was far from complete. Taking Mystique with him after she lost her powers would have only put her in even greater danger. Abandoning her was cruel, but it may also have been the only way for her to survive.
Hey, it's a shame. She was so beautiful.
Why could the Human Torch lose to a level 3 mutant like Pyro? The Human Torch was altered by cosmic radiation. In the films, he can fly into outer space without breaking a sweat. At full power, he can generate heat reaching millions of degrees, comic book level, star level explosions. In the comics, Dr. Doom even turns him into a literal sun to power an entire world. Now look at Pyro. Most of the time, he needs a lighter just to start a flame. In terms of raw energy, they're not even close. So why does the Human Torch struggle? Because Pyro controls fire. Any flame near Pyro becomes his weapon. That makes him a natural counter to the Human Torch. Every blast Johnny throws can be redirected, drained, or turned against him. It's the same logic as Wolverine facing Magneto. Raw power doesn't matter when your opponent controls the element you rely on. That said, Pyro still isn't unbeatable. Even after draining Johnny's flames, winning a straight-up physical fight isn't guaranteed. The Torch is still superhuman, durable, and dangerous up close. But there's also a real-world reason. Chris Evans was only making a cameo, so the movie needed the Human Torch out of the fight fast. Sometimes the strongest weakness isn't another power, it's the plot. Do you know Juggernaut's powers and where they come from? In the comics, his power level is even higher. He can clash with Thor, break through buildings, and keep going without slowing down. Shadowcat can't phase through him to restrain him, and he has rapid regeneration that lets him recover from most injuries. However, the movies changed his origin. In X-Men 3, Juggernaut is treated as a mutant because his powers weaken near Jimmy Leach, whose ability shuts down other mutants. But in the comics, Juggernaut is not a mutant at all. His powers come from the demon god Cyttorak. Long before he became superhuman, Cain Marko was just a regular man. began. During an expedition, he was trapped inside a cave and discovered a glowing crimson gem, the Crimson Gem of Cyttorak. When he touched it, Cyttorak's magic flowed into him, granting unstoppable strength and transforming him into the Juggernaut. That magical origin is why his power doesn't follow mutant rules, and why he ranks among the most powerful physical beings in the Marvel Universe. What if Wolverine had a vibranium skeleton? Everyone knows Wolverine ultimately died because the adamantium in his body slowly poisoned him. But what if his skeleton had been made of vibranium instead? First, Wolverine would be lighter, faster, and far more agile. Vibranium isn't just durable, it absorbs and releases kinetic energy. Like Black Panther's suit, every hit Wolverine takes could charge him up, allowing him to unleash that stored energy in explosive counterattacks. Second, he would never suffer from metal poisoning. His healing factor could operate at full capacity, letting him recover from even the most devastating injuries in seconds. He wouldn't just be hard to kill, he'd be nearly unstoppable. And here's the biggest advantage. Vibranium isn't magnetic. That means Magneto could no longer control, restrain, or crush Wolverine ever again. But even vibranium has its limits. When exposed to specific sound frequencies, its molecular structure can destabilize, and under the right conditions, even crack. What's the difference between movie Wolverine and comic Wolverine? First, his height. Hugh Jackman, on the other hand, is 6 feet 2 inches. In the comics, Wolverine is only 5 feet 3 inches, short, stocky, and built like a brawler. That's why Deadpool 3 briefly introduced a shorter Wolverine variant as a nod to the source material. Second, his family. Movie Wolverine has just one known child, Laura, his clone in Logan. Comic Wolverine's past is far messier. Over the years, he's been revealed to have multiple children scattered across different storylines. Third, his deaths. In Logan, he finally dies from adamantium poisoning after his healing factor weakens. In the comics, death barely sticks. He's been suffocated inside solid adamantium, torn apart by Magneto, and even turned into a zombie more than once. Finally, his feud with Sabretooth. The films portray them as half-brothers who eventually fight side by side. In the comics, they're not related at all. Sabretooth brutally murdered Wolverine's girlfriend and made it a twisted annual tradition to torment him on his birthday. Do you know all of Storm's powers? 1. Weather manipulation. This is Storm's core power. She can control storms, lightning, and atmospheric phenomena. In the films, she mostly uses lightning in combat. In the comics, her control is far more precise. She can influence global weather and even manipulate molecules, like splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen to breathe underwater. 2. Cosmic energy control. As an Omega-level mutant, Storm can do more than control Earth's weather. She can manipulate cosmic energy as well. This includes harnessing solar radiation or controlling cosmic storms. At her peak, she can even draw energy directly from the center of the galaxy for her own use. This level of power gives Storm the potential to wield destructive, interstellar-level force. 3. Magical abilities. Coming from an ancient magical family, she can perform basic magic. In the comics, she has opened portals and enhanced her attacks using magic, making her combat style versatile. 4. Other skills. Storm can sense natural energies around her. Storm can sense natural energy, and her brain constantly processes complex weather data. This creates a mental shield that can temporarily resist telepathy from even Professor X. Which mutants were god tier in the comics but got brutally nerfed in the movies? First, Darwin. He represents true survival of the fittest. In the comics, his body automatically evolves to survive any threat. He grows gills underwater, adapts to vacuum, and becomes immune to fatal damage. In theory, Darwin cannot be killed. Yet in X-Men First Class, he's taken out by a single energy blast, one of the most baffling nerfs ever. Next, Riptide. As Sebastian Shaw's right-hand man, he can create and fully control tornadoes, adjusting their size, direction, and destructive power. After Shaw's death, he joins Magneto and remains a powerful enforcer. But in the films, his role is reduced to little more than a background effect. Then there's Gambit. A master of charged objects, he can turn anything into a weapon. One playing card is enough to knock Wolverine flying. Combined with his signature metal staff, he's both stylish and deadly. Fox once planned a solo Gambit movie, but production issues killed the project, leaving his film version underwhelming. Finally, Azazel, one of the oldest mutants alive, with teleportation, immortality, mind manipulation, and shape-shifting. In the movies, he's reduced to teleportation only, captured by Stryker and killed far too easily. How many lovers has Mystique really had? Mystique's first deep connection was with Professor X. As a child, she was taken in by him. From then on, the two were inseparable. Their relationship blurred the line between family and romance. Xavier was so charming that he was always surrounded by women, and Mystique couldn't help but feel jealous. Later, she grew close to Magneto. Unlike Charles, Magneto fully embraced Mystique's mutant form and encouraged her to accept who she truly was. When Magneto and Professor X split over the future of mutant-human coexistence, Mystique chose Magneto's side and joined the Brotherhood. Another significant relationship was with Azazel. Mystique once disguised herself as a young noblewoman and married the German Baron Christian Wagner. After the wedding, she was seduced by Azazel and later gave birth to Nightcrawler. Enraged by the betrayal, Wagner confronted her, only to be killed by Mystique. She then threw the newborn Nightcrawler off a waterfall and disappeared. In the comics, Mystique's most meaningful partner is Destiny. The two became lovers and allies, forming a dangerous duo that used shape-shifting and precognition to manipulate events and reshape the world.